All right, good morning, everyone. We will call this meeting to order. Today is December 9th, 2025. This is your 9 a.m. regular edition of Lavaca County Commissioners Court, and we will start with a confirmation of roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Here.
Precinct 4.
Present.
And the judge is here, so let the record reflect that all 5 of us are here, present and accounted for. And with that, we will stand for our invocation. Our most Heavenly Father, thank you for this Christmas season. Thank you for this time to gather as a community to make decisions on behalf of all of Lavaca County. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless us with life-giving rain. This county is dry and parched, and we still need rainfall, Lord, for our crops and for our winter crops. Lord, we just ask that you be with us this Christmas season and remember this season and remember our Lord and Savior that you gave us and died for us. So that we could maybe one day be in heaven with you. And Lord, we just ask for all these blessings in your name. Amen.
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 And now our pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're here live in the courtroom or watching this at some other time. We're glad that you're tuning in and listening to what's happening in Lavaca County. I will say this, we have some new microphones up here, so we're not sure how this is sounding to you if you're listening live or listening at some other time, but bear with us as we make adjustments along the way. I'm going to ask that our IT personnel and Naylene here, if you need to come up and make a microphone adjustment during this presentation, feel free to come up and make that adjustment. To remind the Commissioners Court, 6 to 8 inches is what they're telling us this microphone should be for your mouth when you're speaking. So either step up into the mic or finish. But anyway, we're trying to make some adjustments. The camera system is a little bit better. I think we're still using a borrowed camera. Is that right? Is that correct? The camera is not the right camera. We're testing out a camera? Okay. So this is a test camera. We have not purchased a camera yet, but we're using a camera as a test to see if it works for us. So just please bear with us. All right, with that, we will lead into number 1, announcements, public comments. Anyone from the public have anything to say? Anything from the...
Yes, I do.
You have something you want to say?
Yes.
Oh,
I just, let the record reflect, I keep my word. I made a deal with the sheriff a few weeks ago. And here it is, buddy. Wreck 'em.
let the record reflect that half the room is offended. I do see some Texas shirts in the audience, but it's all good fun. May a Texas team win the national championship. That's what we hope. We got Texas Tech in there. What we got? UT and A&M. All in the.
I
All
don't
the
think
hunt?
They pushed
UT
him
is
in
not.
there. They pushed him in there.
They pushed them in there?
Yeah,
Oh, they
UT's
felt
not in
sorry for him,
UT is not in there.
They're not in it. Nope. Oh, they did.
Only Tech.
No, they didn't.
All right. Well,
They're in the
you know,
Citrus Bowl.
it's not a perfect world. Not a perfect world.
I think they're, Texas is playing in the toilet bowl, ain't it?
Any other announcements from the floor?
Number 3, too.
I will say this, running for, our primary season kicks off in March, and to run for office for commissioner, judge, JPs, treasurer, all that, concluded last night at 6 p.m. So, we've got some contested races, we got some uncontested races, and that closed at 6 p.m. I haven't heard from the Democratic Party if anyone running from the Democrats, do we know?
No.
0? Okay, so we have 0 county races in the Democratic Party. Anyway, look forward to a healthy season and campaign season coming up. And some of us are thankful that we do not have opponents. And
Yeah,
I'm
congratulations, Judge.
I'm
for
sorry. I'm
not
sorry.
drawing an opponent.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry for the ones that do, but I think by and large, this county's made a lot of progress in the last 5.5 years that I've been part of it, and I'm proud to be a part of it, so. All right. That said, we'll move on to item number 2, presentation from the Golden Crescent Regional SART for the fiscal year 2024 through 2025. A little closer? Okay. If you would state your name for the court?
My name is Catherine Reynolds. Can y'all hear me all right? I am the Sexual Assault Response Team Coordinator for the Golden Crescent region, and so that's what SART stands for. And the biennial report is, this is only the second time that we've had to do this. It was first asked for the fiscal year 22 and 23 years, and so that was our first time. That report was 50 pages, and they asked us to kind of just focus on the things that have happened over the last 2 years that really affect our region and our SART. And so this report is 30 pages. However, it's still kind of long, so I'm going to try to hit the highlights and not take too much time. But please let me know if you have any questions or need any clarification on anything in this report.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, my name is Catherine Reynolds. I'm the SART coordinator. I'm also a victim advocate at Midcoast Family Services in Victoria. And so I work closely with victims of sexual assault. And so starting out on page 1 of the report is the executive summary. And so just briefly, on September 1st, 2021, Senate Bill 476 required each county commissioner's court to establish an adult sexual assault response team. And counties with fewer than 250,000 people could form regional SARTs, so that's what our region did. We have 6 counties represented, and those are Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Jackson, Lavaca, and Victoria. We could have also had Gonzales, but they chose to do their own SART. So we actually have, like with Yocum, some of their people might go to our region or Victoria area for reporting or for sexual assault exams, those kinds of things, and then some of them might go to Gonzales. So this report just concerns those that treat all of our 6 counties, and some of the data that I have is just for Victoria County because they serve, for Victoria hospitals because they serve the entire 6-county region we're talking about. And so we actually did start, our regional SART started a little before the mandate with the Senate bill, but the Senate bill strengthened our cause and allowed us to have a little more teeth to be able to really get members involved and have a little more buy-in. And so we've been doing that. Our official meeting after Senate bill, our first official meeting occurred in December 2021, and we also have interlocal agreements that were signed. That's something that we're actually going to be working on, reviewing those and then getting those signed again, a kind of updated version signed for all the counties. But we are under interlocal agreements with all 6 counties at this point. Moving on to page 2, for challenges, just to hit some highlights. One of the main challenges that we experienced early on, even with the Senate bill, we had a little bit of trouble just making sure that members were able to get to our meetings because it's another thing on top of all of the things that our members already do, and this is not a funded mandate, and so it was asking people to give more of their time without any additional funding, and so that is, obviously a bit stressful. And luckily, over the last 2 years, we've continued to have even more buy-in and more communication and a little better attendance at meetings and things like that, so that's been positive. For our protocols, one challenge, or just an outstanding kind of continuing challenge we've had is really having firm protocols, which is something that the state wants us to have. And so we are still in the process of perfecting our protocols, and we do have some that I'll get to later in this report that they're basically what we've been working with what our first responders, advocacy centers, and our hospitals already do, but we're trying to just make sure that we have it outlined so it's official, and if anybody moves into the area and starts working with victims of sexual assault, they know exactly what our protocols and expectations are. And so we still have to vote on those and establish a few more parts of our protocols. And our goal is to do that by the end of fiscal year 26. And then that way, for the next section that I talk about in our challenges, the case review, we'll be able to complete a case review by the end of fiscal year 27. And a case review just basically allows us to test our protocols and see how they're going, how they're working, and what holes we might still have that we need to fix. Okay, so going on to accomplishments. We've had several, but again, I mentioned, we've had a little more buy-in from members, and one thing that's been noticed at the meetings is that there's really good collaboration and communication, and there seems to be a lot of commitment to the cause. And so all of the different agencies that come together at the SART meetings involving medical professionals and law enforcement officers, advocacy people, as well as county officials, district attorneys, and their assistants, and those kinds of things. It's been really nice to see that there's a lot of good communication happening at the meetings. And also our data. So a big part of the report is establishing or reporting data from all of the different regions, all of the different communities, to see what the numbers of sexual assault reports are and how many investigations are happening for those reports, and then also how many of those are being prosecuted. And so for our first official biennial report 2 years ago, we only had 3 of our 6 counties report data back. But for this report, all 6 counties reported data back, and that includes multiple law enforcement offices as well as the DAs. And then the next section is looking forward. So just a quick highlight, our continued emphasis is going to be on rapport building for all of our members and the community, so that we can further enhance relationships and support effective collaboration, which will prepare the SART to be even more effective. Okay, and then now I'm on page 5. And so the SART overview, our mission is empowering survivors, promoting justice. Our main goal, to enhance services for sexual assault victims through survivor-centered interdisciplinary care and precise evidence collection for successful offender apprehension and prosecution. And so we have our objectives there. And then for membership, Senate Bill 476 outlined member requirements that our Golden Crescent Regional SART does adhere to. And so you can kind of look through that if you'd like. Again, if you have any questions on that. It just goes through what members were required to have. And then on the next page, these are our major contacts for our SART, if you should have any more questions. And this report will be going on to the state. And so if they ever need to get in touch with us to get any clarification on the report, they can contact one of those people in that list. And then it outlines, how many seats and votes per county we have. The next section is our bylaw section. We have extensive bylaws to really be detailed and thorough. However, I've just included condensed bylaws in this report to give an idea of all that we're covering in those bylaws. And again, if there's any need for looking at the full unabridged bylaws, I can always be contacted, and we'll give those upon request. And then going on to page 8 for trainings. One of the mandates of Senate Bill 476 is that our team not only get together for meetings, but that we also participate in trainings to be more educated on the subject of sexual assault and how it affects adult survivors. And so for the past 2 years, we have exceeded the requirement. We've been expected to always do 4 hours of trainings each year. And in that little graph that's on that page, there's at least one training per year has been multiple hours. So I have 2+ hours, but those have been at least 3 or 4 hour trainings. And then the second year for fiscal year 25, that was an all-day training. And so we just ask our members to participate in those, and we've had very good participation. And also, over the last 2 years, we've started participating in a special project called There For You Bags, which it's a project where we put together bags that include information and resources and different items that can be comforting to those who've gone through a sexual assault. And the goal is for all of our first responders to have these bags on hand, so that if anybody presents reporting a sexual assault, they're able to get one of these bags and look through the information and kind of know what their rights are and what help is available to them in our communities. And then it also includes some little comfort items like fidget toys and things that can just help them feel a little more comfortable when they've gone through that traumatic event. And there's little things in there for children in case they do have to bring a child with them to report, or if they're not able to have childcare, they'll have something to give to their child. Okay, and then the next part of the report is one of the big important things I mentioned, the data. And so I know I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'll at least focus on Lavaca County. We have Calhoun County, DeWitt County, Goliad County, Jackson County, and then Lavaca County. So for fiscal year the top graph is showing the number of reports by law enforcement. And so we had reports from Lavaca County Sheriff's Office, Hallettsville Police Department, Moulton Police Department, Shiner Police Department, and Yoakum Police Department. And the total reports received for fiscal year 24 was 12. And the total number of investigations connected with those reports was 12. And for fiscal year 25, we had data again from all of those law enforcement offices. And the number of sexual assault reports received total was 7. And the number of investigations connected with those reports was also 7. So all of those reports are getting investigated, which is one of the things the state is looking to see. And then the second graph on that page shows the district attorney's office data that we received. So for fiscal year 24, the total adult sexual assault cases indicted, 1, placed on deferred adjudication. The total adult sexual assault cases with no indictment is 1. And for fiscal year 25, the total sexual assault cases indicted were 2. They are pending, and then 0 with no indictment. And I know one thing that one of the district attorneys wanted me to, in our region, wanted me to, include and mention is just the fact that all of these cases are taken very seriously by our district attorneys, but for different reasons. Sometimes even after an investigation, the person who's made the report might decide they no longer want to pursue the case, and sometimes there's simply not enough evidence, which continues to be just a reality and a problem. And then going on, we finished the data with Victoria County, or finished that set of data. The next page, on page 15, is a set of data that was required as of this last summer. The new legislative update required that we also include in the biennial report information on our rape kit data. So whenever a survivor goes and does a SAFE exam, which is the sexual assault forensic exam, there's a time period that those kits must then be transferred to law enforcement from our SANE nurses. And so as I said, I was in communication with our Victoria SANE nurses because they serve our entire 6-county region. And they said that fortunately, all the numbers here are 0 because they said all of the law enforcement offices in our region are very good about getting to the hospitals to pick up those kits so that they do not sit there longer than they're supposed to. They usually get them within 24 hours. And so all of our numbers are 0, which is great for both fiscal year 24 and 25. And then page 16 is additional data that was requested but not required by the state office. And so one of those is just to see how many SANE exams are happening per year in our counties. And so for fiscal year 24, the number of adult SANE exams completed by SANE nurses between the 2 hospitals that do them is 27. And for fiscal year 25, that number was 30. And then the second page of additional data is adult victim advocacy numbers, just showing how many survivors are being served in our communities by advocacy centers through through the years. You can see a month-to-month breakdown. And so it stays pretty consistent, usually between 30 and 40 per month, with the top graph, which is Midcoast Family Services in Victoria, Texas, which serves our entire region. And we also got numbers from the Harbor. They only serve Calhoun County, and they also serve children. They do a lot for the community, and so, but they also serve adults, so those numbers are there for the Harbor as well. And then going on to page 18, as I mentioned, protocols are a work in progress for our SART. And so the next few pages cover what we already have and that is set to be voted on. And then we're still, because we still have some more protocols to work on, the goal is to vote on all of them to have them established by the end of fiscal year 26. So the first set that's already been put together and just needs to be voted on is first responders sexual assault response protocols. So our first responders will know exactly what to do when they get a victim of sexual assault. The next set is advocacy center sexual assault response protocol. And then the third set is emergency room sexual assault response protocols. And again, the goal with protocols is to just make sure everybody's on the same page, and no matter where a sexual assault survivor goes police officer, they should be able to know the exact same information that they would get from an advocacy center or from a hospital if they go to an emergency room. And one thing that is always established, no matter who they report to, is that they have a right to an advocate. They have a right to report, but they do not have to report to police. That they have a right to an exam, whether they decide to follow through with a report or not to law enforcement. So there's different things like that that we're trying to make sure everybody knows and can tell these victims. On page 25, it's just kind of a list of some of the additional protocols that are in development. And a major one at the bottom, intra-agency protocols. I've been in communication with TASA, the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and they have requested that moving into our next biennial report, that we have a collaborative region-wide approach to sexual assault. So instead of having it only broken down by these different departments or different groups, that we have one that would work just across the board for everybody. And that way, that could be put into our next biennial report, just to show that information that everybody needs to have, no matter who you are in the community serving sexual assault victims. And then the next couple pages are just the final, one additional thing we're working on is having for our protocols is to have some easy to look at and work with flowcharts. And so that's what the next three pages are. Again, they're a work in progress, so they have draft on them. That's something we're working on. And then the final required portion of the report is discussing the case review. And again, it would have been ideal to have a case review to do over the last 2 years, but because our protocols weren't complete, we haven't been able to actually look at one of our cases and see how those protocols were put into effect. So again, that goal is to have our protocols complete by the end of 26, and then by the end of fiscal year 27, we'll complete a case review so that it can be included in our next biennial report. And when we go through and test our protocols, the following areas will be considered when developing that case review process: reporting and initial response, victim support, the investigation, adjudication process, compliance with laws and regulations, and continuous improvement. And then that brings us to our conclusion. And so the main thing I'll say here is, as we look forward, the Golden Crescent Regional SAR reaffirms its commitment to furthering offender accountability, improving interagency cooperation, and upholding the highest standards of care and justice for survivors. And then I just want to say thank you again so much for allowing me time to speak. Appreciate it.
Thank you as well. Just a wealth of information. What is it that the court can do to advocate or help you? How can we help you?
Thank you so much. I think the main thing is just we've had a little bit more of some success having people be more accountable about coming to meetings. And so I didn't know there had been concern that if people weren't coming, who can we go to? Because we don't have funding. We are just kind of new little group of volunteers, really. So I guess if we don't have member buy-in, one thing we can do, according to TASA, is contact the Commissioner's Court and just, maybe have you contact these members that aren't coming. Like I said, right now that doesn't seem to be a problem. We have some good buy-in, but that would just be one thing if we ever have some problem getting people to the meetings to, support what we're trying to do.
Okay, fair enough. And I think it's across the board for us. Whoever we appoint to any board or any kind of organization needs to be accountable. And so that's part of it. So, any questions, comments? Anybody?
Just one. So Senate Bill 476 was the initiator of the program?
Yes.
Okay, so that comes from the state Senate, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you funded? Did the Senate, when they released this information or passed this bill, this legislation, did they provide any funding for this?
My understanding is no. It's there was no funding established, and basically, from my understanding, we get support from the state office to be able to carry out what we're trying to do. And so the main thing is just trying to bring together all the people that are already working, in professions that help survivors. But as far as being funded, there is no funding for what we're doing. And so, for the position I have, they actually decided a couple years back at the agency I work for that they would assign one of their victim advocates to be the STAR coordinator. And so that's what they decided to do. That
thank you for your time today. We appreciate all that you're doing
Very well done.
Thank you so much.
and bringing awareness to
you.
this matter as well. So just, I think that's what we can do today is just bring awareness that there is a problem and we're here to help.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Next agenda item we have is number 3, discuss and approve road bond and routing agreement updates. I'm not sure if y'all have any updates. We wanted to include this back on here because I know we've been discussing this. Is there anything from the floor that y'all want to discuss or recommend? And how do we get to a point where we can approve something different than we're doing now?
I have nothing at the time.
Okay?
Wayne, Mike?
I did hear from an oil gas representative yesterday that says they'd like to see us to get to a resolution here so they know what's coming. So, this is commissioner territory here.
Yes, yes, it is. And look, the sheriff's moving this way.
I see the sheriff moving this way. You want to add anything, Sheriff? And congratulations on your Texas Longhorns.
I know, we're not in the playoffs, right? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Commissioners. Going back to the topic at hand, I think, again, it's incumbent upon us to meet prior to these rigs being set up and all this traffic going on to these Lavaca County roadways such that we all can come to a conclusion and what's best for the county, what's best for that area, and then put it into writing and make sure that the oil field representatives are on board and it's very, very clear as to what the roads are that cannot go on. I think the next one up is the one off 340, correct, Commissioner? That's the next well up. as I
It's
see
gonna
it.
be off at 340 on 195.
195.
Yes,
correct.
sir.
I think that's the one we should in the very near future. I realize we have the holidays and everything else, but in the very near future, we should sit down, represents my office, yourself, EOG, right?
EOG.
Yes, EOG, and put that together and then get that document pushed through court, because once it does, it's, for all practical purposes, become codified, and then we can enforce any violations.
Correct.
That's where I'm at.
I would like to set some timelines here, maybe to get something accomplished. And I want to add this again. So I heard from oil and gas company says they need some direction of where we're heading, so they know where we're heading the next year. I also listened to a landowner that does not have oil and gas interest in here and lives on a particular county road that's seeing damage done to those roads and doesn't feel he should have to pay for as a taxpayer for what an oil and gas company is damaging. So there's a two-way street here. Lavaca County is an oil and gas field. We all pretty well acknowledge that. Oil and gas has to be produced, and there's a cost of that production, and there's a cost of damages to a road. So I think the quicker we can get to some kind of resolution on this, I think we're gonna do everyone a favor of resolving the issue.
If I may, and I hate to put Nailene on the spot, Ms. Rupert, but she was very involved in the process, and prior to my coming into office, and frankly, she's been one of the ones I've gone to for subject matter expertise on. At some point, I believe the process changed, the forms changed, and in my opinion, we need to go back to the other process, because where we're at right now, if we continue down this road, they're gonna be able to violate those agreed upon route agreements, and they have no teeth. My deputies cannot enforce, cannot write tickets.
That's what this is about. This is about enforcement
Yes.
of driving on the right roads that we said
Correct.
you can drive on, and then it's also about us inspecting roads before and after so we know where to put blame on the damages.
It's about deterrent as well. That the ability to enforce acts as a deterrent for them to just
Yeah.
willy-nilly run
So-
up and down the roads they want with vehicles that are far too heavy. You all know the damage they do far better than I do, but we all seen it.
Okay.
So I'm at y'all's beck and call, however you all want to proceed. I think, again,
this
I
is-
think Nailene should be in on those meetings as
This is
well.
Commissioner territory. The heaviest oil and gas activity is in 2 right now and 3.
A little bit of
A
three.
little bit of 3. 3 was heavily hit, but now it's in 2 right now. 2 is, and what EOG told me from Weimer to, Weed to Weimer, they're gonna drill 80 wells.
Yeah.
And so they're going, this is
One
gonna
off
be an
of
ongoing issue.
195, they're putting on that one pad, it's $1 million pad, and they're drilling
So-
4 wells, is what they've said. That's a lot of traffic.
I think we need to make this a sense of urgency, that we can go back, come to the table and draft something that sticks and works, and even get some of our surrounding counties involved to see what kind of documents they have and come to a resolution. So that's, I put this on there for a reason.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We have nothing to vote on right now, but I do think we need to have something that we can bring back to this board for a vote.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to do that, and like you say, Nalene, let's compare previous versus current, and then, take that, and I've got a copy of the current, with the county attorney's office, and they're, he's looking at that, but I will say this, by maybe creating a little headache for the oil companies, they're now listening.
Sure.
They're listening, because I called yesterday and I said, we have a truck that just crossed a bridge off of 245, and that is specifically, it's clear, I mean, it's giant, no trucks. And I got a call from the landowner, says, hey, this truck just crossed here. Well, so I called and I said, hey, give me the name of who's the coordinator for the trucking company? I want to talk to him. And there was silence. So, yes, I want to talk to him. I think maybe I would be better suited to plead my case than you. It's a contractor for you, but they need to stop this. And you can plead ignorance just so long. And so I think we've got their attention, and I think they understand that something has to be done. They can't seem to control it, and we can't station an officer at every bridge, at every intersection, at every road. It's not possible. We don't even have the camera support to do that. We have game cameras set up near these wells where we can track who does what, but we're still handcuffed in the sense of what we can do. So I will take responsibility and be sure that this gets done.
That's what I was looking for.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, just so you know.
And I think it has to go a step further with also the inspection before and after these permits are issued, so we can have some real concrete evidence of what happened to the roads during the process of the road agreement.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so I think we've nothing to vote on, but this is discussion time with all of us here.
Okay.
Add anything? Nothing to add? Okay. So, we don't have to vote on this, but Wayne said he's gonna take the lead in coming up with something that works for the court and getting with the sheriff's office as well.
My office will work hand in hand with Commissioner
Okay.
Fairclough.
Okay. All right, good deal, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, item number 4, discuss and approve addendum 14 between Local Government Solutions and Lavaca County to include jury application to be used by 4 users in the district clerk's office. That documentation is found on page 1 through 2. Do I hear a motion?
I so move.
Okay,
Second.
motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the addendum 14 between Local Government Solutions and Lavaca County to include jury application to be used by 4 users in the district clerk's office. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 5, discuss and approve nominee for the Lavaca County Central Appraisal District Board of Directors for the 2026-2027 term of office. That's found on page 3 through 6. Do I hear, this is where we have to actually, we've got the nominees, we have to vote now. Okay, so we're voting on nominees. We nominated, who do we nominate? I believe we nominated Roddy Ringer and Lonnie Montgomery.
That is correct.
Okay, so those are our nominees on behalf of Lavaca County.
Lavaca County has a total of 1,966 votes. I move that we apply half to each of our candidates, which would be 983 votes for Lonnie Montgomery and 983 votes for Roddy Ringer.
Okay, is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to divide our votes evenly between our candidates that we nominated was Mr. Roddy Ringer and also Lonnie Montgomery. So that's, did you say 983 votes?
983, yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Or want to do another division any other way?
I'm
satisfied with it.
Okay, hearing none, that was the motion on the floor and the votes allocated, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes, and our two nominees gets the split votes from Lavaca County. All right, number 6, discuss and approve application for materials for fiscal year 2026 local government assistance program based on Transportation Code 201.706, assisted by the Texas Department of Transportation. That's found on page 7 through 9. Anyone want to walk us through this one?
Yeah, but basically, this is what the state gives us every year, just to help us out.
Okay,
And this year, they're gonna go ahead and evenly distribute some mill asphalt,
okay.
is what they have on it this year.
So are you recommending a even,
I'm recommending we approve this.
are you recommending an even distribution?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, motion made by precinct 3. Do I hear a second to evenly distribute the materials donated?
Second.
Who seconded?
Precinct 4.
That's kind of ganging up, isn't it?
Again,
Sir?
Nothing, I was talking to myself.
I didn't quite hear that.
I had a motion by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve the application for materials for fiscal year 2026 by local government assistance program based on Transportation Code 201.706, assisted by the Texas Department of Transportation, and to split those materials evenly. That's 25%
Put
to
evenly, very big in the record.
to each precinct. They hear, any other questions or comments? Or any other disgruntledness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Congratulations, guys.
Whisper, aye.
The biggest fights in this courtroom has usually been over materials.
Sir?
Free materials is what the biggest fight is usually over. All right, number 7, discuss and approve bond for Oscar Montantes. I hope I got that right. Is that correct? Montantes. Oscar Montantes, Deputy for Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. There is no attachment, but do we have approval for the bond? Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the bond for Oscar Montantes, Deputy for Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Any other questions or comments? Sheriff, you want to say anything? I do. Okay.
You'll have another one. We have a jailer that will be graduating the academy tomorrow. And,
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be right back in front of you to do another one here shortly. It's a process we've done several times and we'll continue to do. We've got, as of last night, I was sitting down with Chief Herbst, and we've got 7 applications right now. So
Awesome.
We should continue to see more of this going forward for 2026.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And I might add, I think, were you asked to be the guest speaker at
I am, yes,
tomorrow's
sir. Tomorrow.
graduation ceremony?
I am.
Victoria? All right.
Yes, sir.
Great. Congratulations on that. That's an
Thank you.
accomplishment.
Well, thank you very much.
So we're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so to approve Oscar Montantes' bond, I had a motion from precinct 4, second by precinct 3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, number 8, discuss and approve burn ban status. Everyone's least favorite issue. I did lift the burn ban, I believe it was Friday morning. We felt an overwhelming sense of pressure. We had some rainfall. Lots of people wanted to burn. This morning driving to work, there's fires burning everywhere, just people burning finally. So by executive order, I lifted it. This court would need to ratify that. And Mr. Tim Decker, you want to say anything?
Yes, good morning, Commissioners, good morning, Judge. So, yes, the ban was lifted on Friday. Over the weekend, we did have one grass fire, happened to be in Commissioner 3's territory. It basically started from a fire that was lit when it kind of picked up, and it had some spread there. Otherwise, we really didn't have any other grass fires that ensued with that. Our conditions right now, it's winter time, everything's kind of, freeze-dried, everything's dry as it is. But most places are pretty short. We don't have a whole lot of tall fuels that are out there. Our KBDI today, which it hasn't updated until 10. So yesterday, we were at 554. So that is kind of fluctuating right around that threshold that we like to look at as far as lifting and setting on. When it was lifted, it was just under 550. One of the things that we worry about and talking with the fire chiefs is going back and forth, right? Putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. And while we're kind of above that 550 right now, there are some conditions that make it a little hazardous to burn. I don't know if it would be a great decision to go right back into a burn ban with the lack of information put forth to everybody. I think this is something that we as the Fire Chiefs Association as well as Commissioners Court maybe need to sit down and have a discussion. Like when we take it off for a certain amount of time. We put it on for a certain amount of time, just for a little bit of information flow, to be able to hit the papers, to be able to hit social media, to be able to get the burn flags out and the pillars out. The biggest thing that we worry about in fires right now isn't just the dry fuel that's there. It does go up fast, but it's more of the wind, the frontal winds that push. The fire that we had this weekend in Shiner, the grass was probably 3 to 4 inches tall. It wasn't very big, but the fact that the wind was pushing it is what causes the danger. We worry about property lines. We worry about, it actually burned up 7 bales as well. So we think more about the property of the next door neighbor. If it burns, whoever's burning their property, it's one thing, but once it starts getting across lines, we start having other problems. Making access into those can be a problem as well too. So just things to think about. And I know I'm going in and out, Michael, we're gonna work on this. But one of the things to think about is we don't have a burn ban right now. That doesn't mean you have to burn if you do have piles.
Right.
So the best thing that we can do, and every fire chief will always emphasize, burn ban or not, is taking those precautions when you decide to burn. Make sure you call the sheriff's office, let them know that you're gonna be burning. They can give you information if the burn ban's on or not. Skirting your fires, right? Make sure you're disking around them, making sure they're clear of debris, making sure they're not next to a structure, and then just being update with the weather. If you know there's a front that's gonna be pushing through, those frontal winds are gonna push that fire and those embers further along. So, if you're gonna burn, please, 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 take a look at the weather, contact the sheriff's office, let them know that you are burning. That kind of gives the update for fire department if they know where they need to go if that's the case. And then just be smart when you're burning. Know what you're burning, how to burn it, things of that nature. I reached out to the fire chiefs. They kind of stayed in the same opinion. I don't want to speak too far outside of what they've said. But the same thing, the conditions are still there for fire promotion with the windage. But if we go right back into a burn ban, people are going to be pretty confused on what's going on. So I personally would like to keep this on the agenda moving forward for the next couple of Commissioners Court, just to keep good education out there to the public between you guys so we can kind of make the best educated decision moving forward if that's possible.
Agreed.
I agree with you. Let's at least keep the burn ban off till our last meeting of the year.
Yes,
And
sir.
see where it is from there. We do have rain in the forecast.
Yes, so this weekend, we do have a 50% chance both days, Saturday and Sunday, and into Monday and Tuesday. But with that, we also have some frontal winds that are gonna be pushing through with that. So keep those things in mind. Gonzales County, Colorado County, Bay County are still in burn bans themselves. They're all still in the 600s when it comes to the KBDI as well too. So they're a little bit drier than we are. That moisture that we did get is promoting some winter grass. So we do have some green grass that's coming up that's gonna help and kind of slow some of that spread. But not everybody in the county got that rain. So we try to make the best decisions on the average of that KBDI. What's good for some isn't always good for all. So we try to make the best decision we can for the entirety of Lavaca County.
And I just want to add, for the record, we didn't take this, this wasn't something we just haphazardly ran into on Friday morning. We surveyed the commissioners, we surveyed the fire chiefs, we surveyed some council members as well. We all felt we had a window of opportunity here that we could open it up, and maybe a short window, maybe a 2 to 3, 4 week window. We don't know based on range, but we felt we had a window, had some opportunity, but it still used common sense. Not just because we lifted it doesn't mean you can burn on your property, because you've got to use common sense. What does your fuel source look like? What is the wind going to look like, and so forth. So
With the respect to moisture, this is probably the best opportunity that we've had to get out of a burn ban. We've been this close, and so right now is probably the best chance that Lavaca County has had to lift this ban. And so with that, we're just going to keep monitoring that moving forward. It's going to get drier and drier by day, but we're hoping that moisture this weekend will help kind of solidify and get us back down into that 550, or at least keep a watch on it.
something's been recurring with the fire chiefs is they're always looking for us to put some kind of system in place where when do we put it on, when do we put it off. There is no cookie cutter system. There's no such thing as an automatic order or an automatic lift of a burn ban. Nothing's automatic. It's gotta be done through this court system, that's by law, whether it's an executive order by me, ratified by the five of us. Then the other thing that was, has been said in our meetings over the last couple of years with the fire departments is KBDI 550 in December is different than a 550 reading in July. 550 in July means we're in trouble.
Biggest thing is just the ambient temperature that's out. You know, in
Yeah.
July, we're 100+ degrees every day, so that sucks that moisture out of the ground that much faster. In the wintertime, we're a little bit cooler. It keeps that ground a little bit cooler to be able to retain that moisture. So we have talked in the past couple of years now that wintertime being about that 550 mark, that kind of keeps us a little bit in the same realm as we would be in July at 500.
So the KBDI reading is just a tool that we use to guide us what we should do. But it doesn't substitute real-time data and input from what's on the ground, what's happening, what are the fire chiefs seeing, what are the commissioners seeing in their precincts. And so, for this time, I would ask the court to ratify the lifting of the burn ban that we did on Friday and then bring it back for subsequent review.
I'll make that motion.
Okay?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve the continued lifting of the burn ban as ordered on Friday, December, what was that, 5th? Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. But we urge the public to burn with caution or do not burn. And always, when in doubt, call 798-2121. Notify dispatch that your intentions of burning. They want to know your address and your phone number. So if someone calls you in, they know who to contact to find out, is that fire controlled or not controlled?
And that'll give the fire department a better access point of where to get to and just communication-wise. I would like to give a shout-out to the Hallettsville Fire Department. They had a structure fire on early Saturday morning. It was actually an apartment complex. They got there, smoke was showing. They were able to get in, find the fire. It was actually inside of the wall. So they were able to stop that and mitigate it before it took that whole building. So they actually called in a little bit of support from the Shiner Volunteer Fire Department as well, too. Kudos to those guys for being able to save that building and a lot of that residents there. So good job.
Okay. All right, thank y'all.
Thanks, Tim.
And again, let's give our fire departments a big hand. I mean, volunteers, they don't have to go out there to fight your fires. And we want to prevent them from having to go out to unnecessary fires. So, appreciate it. Thank you, Tim. All right, number 9, discuss and approve order prohibiting certain fireworks in unincorporated areas of Lavaca County. That's found on page 10. I think this is a kind of a no-brainer, and the direction we're in is to ban the sticks and fins. That's the bottle rockets, that sort of thing, the uncontrolled stuff that shoots across into the neighbor's pasture, and nobody knew that it set it on fire. I think Fayette County, not Fayette, DeWitt's going to do the same order, so we kind of want to stay in line with Fayette County on this as well. So I'm asking for an approval of the order prohibiting certain fireworks in unincorporated areas of Lavaca County, Texas. We do have drought conditions. We're not in a burn ban, but drought conditions still exist, so we want to keep that in mind. And so what I'm asking is, Section A says no person may sell, detonate, ignite, or in any way use fireworks classified under 49 Code of Federal Regulations as skyrockets with sticks and missiles with fins. So anything with sticks and fins you cannot sell or ignite in Lavaca County. That doesn't restrict you from the mortar rounds, the aerial. You can still do aerial stuff, but it's the mortar rounds that tend to ignite in the air and then come back down without being on fire. Is that correct? Want to say anything?
Yeah, so the big reason with skyrockets with sticks is what they classify it as, and missiles with fins. The mortar rounds, when you set them off, they go up, they explode, they disintegrate, and then they fall down. They cool as they come down. They're not really hot when they hit the ground. The missiles with fins and the skyrockets on sticks are still enclosed. They're just a rocket. So they have an internal core that fires off. It shoots them where they need to go, but when they land, they still have an ignition source inside. They're still hot. They don't explode. And so that's the biggest risk with the skyrockets with sticks and the missiles with fins, is that they go and they land somewhere, but they're still hot inside. They don't blow up. They don't disintegrate and cool as they come down. So there's risk that's still involved of having kind of an ignition source under dry conditions. So many places, when they do these bans, they do skyrockets with sticks and missiles with fins. So that's just basically in line with what most other people are doing.
All right, so that's, the order bans those, it did what, in Part B, it says this order does not prohibit common fireworks, small in size, classified as Class C explosives. And it says, it also does not prohibit large fireworks devices designed primarily to produce visible or audible effects by combustion, deflagration, or detonation, and classified as Class B explosives by the U.S. Department of Transportation. So our fireworks providers that sell fireworks in the county, they understand this very well. They understand what we're doing. So we're not banning them from selling fireworks. We're not banning them fireworks altogether. We're just saying pop your fireworks with caution. Do not sell skyrockets with sticks or missiles with fins, and do not pop those as well. And those, if you watch those YouTube videos, those are the ones that are causing problems. And I mean, they're uncontrollable. They set them off and they shoot the neighbor's house and break out a window, stuff like that. It's fun to watch on YouTube, but not fun to pop in your neighborhood.
And the commercial firework operators have to actually go out to the state and get a permit to be able to have a public display. So those commercial fireworks shows that you're speaking of, those are actually trained professionals that have to go get a permit to do that. Now, it doesn't necessarily say in there that I'm aware of, they have to have a fire prevention apparatus on site, any of those things. But most places are gonna ask to have that on standby. So, those are things to think about, and that does come with the liability insurance. I think it's no less than $500,000 that they have to carry. So that kind of protects them in a sense, but at the same time, there's always the risk that's involved. So we urge everybody to be safe when they do go out, though, even the commercial displays.
Gotcha. All right. With that, do I hear a motion to approve the order prohibiting certain fireworks in unincorporated areas of Lavaca County?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to approve the order prohibiting certain fireworks in unincorporated areas of Lavaca County. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. All right, thank you, Mr. Chief Decker. Brings us to item number 10, discuss and approve quote from ABA Services for the demolition of the concrete slab located at 400 North Texana Street. I did not intend for this to be as an approval of this quote. I wanted to bring the issue back up to the court that we have a quote, and have you guys had a chance to look at options to continue the demolition project at 400 North Texana. And that's found on page 11. Does anybody want to go break that concrete up on their own accord?
I think I'd like to take a look at it. I hadn't had time yet to do that, but
Okay.
if we can just,
We're not in a big hurry. The TxDOT sidewalk project is supposed to be, I'm not sure it was going to be let out in January, it's set for April, or was let out for April, but I think we've got a little time. We got the building down, and that's the main thing. The concrete vendor can work with what we have, I believe. But, so what I'm hearing is I don't think everyone got a chance to go out there and see it, look at it, investigate it. I know maybe some of you have investigated it, or called a vendor or two,
Yeah, I'm
But-
still waiting to hear from one
so
vendor.
we need some more time.
I went and looked at it. It's gonna cost something to remove that concrete. We don't know how thick the concrete is, we don't know what's under the concrete, we don't know where the electricity is, we don't know where the water lines are, we don't know where the sewer lines are.
So the biggest issue is the liability of going in and pull the concrete up and we hit a main line of some sort. So we need to get with the city as well.
I did not get with city, no.
Okay. Well, let's do this, Nailing, between now and next Commissioners Court meeting. Let's get with the cities to properly identify the lines. What are we up against?
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Sewer lines, gas lines, electrical lines, water. Gas line has been killed, but we want to make sure that we know what we're getting into if we take this on our own. So
maybe we call 811, have them come on station for
we
us.
could do that too. Call 811 as well.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Especially gas and water.
Okay. Well, I'd say let's call both entities, and even if it would be, there's a gas company in the area, make sure they're we reach out to them. So let's table it till another date and time. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right, no motion made on number 10. We'll get some more information and bring that back to you. Before we get into 11, it's going to be lengthy. Do we need to take a break?
Let's take a 5-minute break.
All right. The court's going to be in recess for approximately 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break and then come in to work on number 11 and then get to consent. That's really all we have left. So we'll be in recess for 5 minutes. Okay.
I know you were gonna bring it up, yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Well, I'll tell you. Think I should too. Blush above.
time is it gonna take from this?
What?
How much time is it gonna take on number 11?
20 minutes,
That's it?
probably, ain't it?
I'm gonna have to tell Maylene, she's got blindfold and she said, I can't see her.
That one?
Yeah.
Nadine,
No, don't worry about it now. Well, you know,
that ain't, it's not Nadine, no.
no.
That glare, I couldn't see just hair. My eyes aren't that good.
Nadine said to wait on her.
Okay.
We're in no hurry.
Okay.
Jordan Slukit, did you sign up to run again? Did you sign up for precinct chair again? Thank you.
Who's that?
Nobody run again. I'm the only one that got opposition. I ain't gonna name you, Victor.
All right, the court's back, the clerks are back, Naylene's back. We are ready when the cameras are ready. Testing 1, 2. Okay. All right, we are back from recess. We took a short recess. We are now moving on to agenda item number 11, which is to discuss and approve awarding bids for the purchase of the following items for Lavaca County roads. And it says here in my notes, it says these records are at the bench. I will say this before we get started. It took us about an hour and a half to open up the bids and read the bids. It's a long process. We got a lot of people that wanted to be to sell things to Lavaca County, so it's going to take us some time to go through this. That's why I wanted to take a recess before we get started. But anyway, number 11, discuss and approve awarding bids for the purchase of the following items for Lavaca County roads: level up patch material premix type D, hot mix cold lay type D, purchase of HMAC regular D hot mix asphalt, cover stone material pre-coated grade 3 and grade 4, uncoated grade 3 and grade 4, soil stabilizer, quick lime, pebble bulk, powder lime, AC5, AC10, MC30, CRS2, limestone 3/4 inch of an inch to dust, 1 inch and down, and 1.5 inch road base. Also vegetation management services, purchase and delivery of various pit run gravel and screen gravel, 1 and 1.5 inches and down, bulk gasoline and diesel for all commissioner precincts, sheriff's department, senior citizen center, that's Halesville and Yoakum, Lavaca County EMS stations, that's Halesville, Shiner, and Moulton, and emergency management and maintenance fuel stations. And lastly, this bid process includes the labor and equipment for road construction services. So I'm gonna turn it over to the commissioners at this time. I assume y'all have had time to go through these bid packages. We've got a summary assembled together here, and if one of y'all would walk us through it, that would be great.
Sure. Let's start with the first one, level up patch material, premix type D. The only bid we had on that was bid number 1813, and it was for Laward Anders. And delivered to all 4 precincts is $115 a ton.
Okay, do we want to take this one at a time? So we're gonna.
Yes.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to accept bid number 1813?
I make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to accept bid number 1813 for level up patch material, premix type D and hot mix Colay type D. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Bid number 1813 has been accepted. All right.
Okay, next one is hot mix Colay type D. We had 2 bids. Quality hot mix, bid number 1798. It's precinct 1 through 4 is $90 a ton, and you can pick up at plant for $88. And the other bid is Brontex, bid number 1815. All 4 precincts, it's $90 a ton and $69 to pick up at the plant. That would be in the bond.
Okay.
And my suggestion is to accept both bids. I think we done last year, because when one's tied up, we can always call the other one and get it delivered faster.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept both of those.
Okay.
Second that motion.
You have a- Go ahead, you had some, Ed?
Is it possible to accept 1804 as well, just in case, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read those. I apologize. Bid number 1804 was Colorado Materials. Delivered to all 4 precincts is $95 a ton. The plant pickup is $80 a ton. And bid number, what was that other bid? I scratched it. 18 what?
1,800.
Bid number 1800 was Waller County Asphalt. Delivered price was $140.10 a ton to precinct 1. Precinct 2 was $142.90. Precinct 3 is $145 a ton, and precinct 4 is $145.70 a ton, and pickup at plant was $110 a ton.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is, okay, Kenny, you made a recommendation of picking up 1788 and
Yes.
1815. Wayne, you're wanting to pick up a third one?
Yes, yes, I am. Yes, I would like to pick up 1804 as well, because sometimes there's a supply issue. We can't, we ask for it, but they don't have it. And so when we need it. And so we won't start with them because they're higher. We'll start with the lowest bid and move forward. But if they don't have the material, I'd like the option of being able to get it.
Okay. Would you like to adjust your motion?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to accept bid number 1798 from Quality Hot Mix, bid number 1813 from Leward Anders, and bid number 1804. And I apologize, scratch that, 1813. That was on a different
So-
material.
Oh, I've got 1798, bid number 1815, and 1804.
1804, yes.
Okay, all right. So
I'll make that correct.
Larry, a second?
Second that.
Okay, second by precinct 4. So motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to award on the hot mix cold lay type D to award 3 bids to, we'll pick up bid number 1798, 1815, and 1804. Of course, always you're going for the low cost first before you start going up, but
Right.
it gives us some backup options. So we're accepting 3 of those bids.
Yes, I did,
Okay,
okay, that's $80 a ton.
okay, and plant pickup prices as well for those 3 bids. 17, so again, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to accept 1798, 1815, and 1804 on the hot mix Colay type D, delivered and plant pickup. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, purchase of what is it?
Purchase of HMAC regular D hot mix asphalt.
Okay.
Bid number 1803 is Colorado Materials. It's $85 delivered to all 4 precincts. And if you pick up at plant, it's $65 a ton. And bid number 1816 Brontex, it's $87 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts and $62 a ton to pick up at plant.
Okay,
And I'll make a motion to accept both of those.
okay.
Second that motion.
All right, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to accept the purchase of HMAC regular D hot mix asphalt and accept both bids of 1803 and 1816. They both have, one's higher on delivery, one's lower, and one's got better plant pickup prices, but again, they're very comparable prices. Gives y'all some options. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, next we have purchase of cover stone material pre-coated PB3, PE3, PB4, PE4,
yes.
and uncoated grade 3 and 4.
Okay, first one is pre-coated PB3 rock. Bid number 1798 is Quality Hot Mix. They're $68 delivered to all 4 precincts, $65 if we pick up at their plant. 1801 bid number MCM was a no bid. Bid number 1802 is Colorado Materials. They're $75 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, and $55 a ton if you pick up at their plant. Bid number 1811, CEMEX, was a no bid. Bid number 1818, Brontex, it's $75 delivered to all 4 precincts and $50 a ton to pick up at their plant.
Is there a recommendation?
I
Motion?
recommend we take bid number 1798A, bid number 1802, and bid number 1818.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 3. Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Second by precinct 4 on pre-coded PB3 to pick up bids, to award bids number 1798A, 1802, and 1818. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to pre-coded PE3.
To pre-coded PE3, there was no bid.
No bids, so we're not awarding those bids, right?
Right. The next one is
right.
pre-coded PB4.
Okay.
Bid number 1798A, quality hot mix, $68 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, $65 a ton pick up at their plant. Bid number 1801, MCM, no bid. Bid number 1802, Colorado Materials, $75 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, $55 a ton to pick up at plant. Bid number 1811, CEMEX, no bid. Bid number 1818, Brontex, $73 a ton, delivered to all 4 precincts, $48 a ton to pick up at plant. And with that, I would make a motion to accept 3 bids, bid number 1798A, bid number 1802, and bid number 1818.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Okay, got a motion from precinct 3, second by precinct 4 on pre-coded BP4 to accept bids 1798A, 1802, and 1818. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Pre-coded PE4 rock, there was a no bid.
Okay.
Uncoated grade 3 rock, bid number 1798A is quality hot mix. It's $48 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, $55 a ton to pick up at plant. That's interesting. Bid number 1801, MCM Materials, 4670 delivered to precinct 1, 4670 delivered to precinct 2, 4470 delivered to precinct 3, 4610 delivered to precinct 4, and plant pickup price is $26.30. Bid number 1802 is Colorado Materials. It's $50 delivered to all 4 precincts, $30 if you pick up at plant. Bid number 1811, CEMEX, precinct 1 is $43.13 a ton delivered to precinct 1, $41.44 delivered to precinct 2, $42.06 per ton delivered to precinct 3, $43.13 a ton delivered to precinct 4, and it's $25.50 a ton to pick up at the plant. Bid number 1818, Brontex, $55 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, and $30 a ton to pick up at plant.
Okay. Can I, before you make a motion, is it safe to assume on quality hot mix's bid that plant price at $55 may be a typo?
No, it'll be a backhaul price, and
Okay.
it's gonna be higher to pick up from their plant because they brought it from the Bronxville to New Tatum, where their plant is,
Okay.
Ocampo area.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm with you. Makes sense now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your motion, sir?
Yeah, any of y'all? Dennis, you
You're
got
doing
any
good.
answer?
You're doing a fine job. Fantastic.
Okay.
Keep going. So your motion.
Make a motion to approve 1798A quality hot mix, 1801 MCM Materials, 1802 Colorado Materials, and 1811 CEMEX.
Okay.
And the reason I would like to have more people to pick from is because in the summertime when we're paving, we're fighting the state for this material.
Correct.
And the state always usually
State
supersedes
trumps us
our
a lot of
county
times,
roads.
yeah. Okay.
Second that motion.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, for uncoated grade 3 to award bids to 1798A, 1801, 1802, and 1811. Hearing questions or comments?
No,
No?
no,
Did I hear a comment?
no.
Okay. Hearing no comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I heard a feedback, something. Feedback.
Uncoated grade 4 rock, bid number 1798A, quality hot mix, $48 delivered to all 4 precincts, 55 a ton to pick up at their plant. Bid number 1801 MCM, 4670 a ton delivered to precinct 1 and 2, 4470 delivered to precinct 3, 4610 delivered to precinct 4, and $26.30 delivered pick up at plant. Bid number 1802 Colorado Materials, $50 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, $30 a ton pick up at plant. Bid number 1811 CMEX, 4313 a ton to precinct 1, 4144 to precinct 2, 4206 a ton delivered to precinct 3, and 4313 delivered to precinct 4. Plant pickup is $25.50 a ton. And bid number 1818 Brontex is $53 a ton delivered to all 4 precincts, $28 a ton pickup at plant.
All right, do I hear a motion?
Yes, sir. I make a motion to accept bid number 1798A, bid number 1801, bid number 1802, and bid number 1811.
Second that motion.
Okay, I heard a motion from precinct 3, second by precinct 4, for the uncoated grade 4 to award bids to bid number 1798A, 1801, 1802, and 1811. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
All right.
Where are we on now? AC 5.
We're on price per gallon for AC 5, AC 10, MC 30, CRS 1P, and CRS 2. Okay, the first one is bid number 1796, Ergon Asphalt Emulsions. AC 5 is $3.25 a gallon. AC 10 is $3.20 a gallon. No bid on MC 30. CRS 1P is $3.78 per gallon, and CRS 2 is $2.08 per gallon. Bid number 1799 is Cleveland Asphalt. No bid on AC 5, no bid on AC 10, $5.14 a gallon. For MC 30, no bid on CRS 1P, and CRS 2 is $2.74 per gallon. Bid number 1809, Martin Asphalt, $2.38 a gallon for AC 5, $2.38 a gallon for AC 10, $3.95 a gallon for MC 30, no bid on CRS 1P, and $2.25 a gallon for CRS 2.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion, to accept bid number 1796, bid number 1799, and bid number 1809.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, on price per gallon for AC 5, AC 10, MC 30, and CRS 1P and CRS 2 to accept all bids from the 3 vendors, so awards go to 1796, 1799, and 1809. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
All right. Okay, the next item is limestone 1.5 road base per ton. Bear with me, we had a lot of bids on this. Bid number 1798B is quality hot mix. Stockpile location, precinct 1, 2275 a ton, precinct 2, 2190 a ton, Precinct 3, 2190 per ton. Precinct 4, 2275 per ton. Delivered to the job site location. Precinct 1, 2475 a ton. Precinct 2, 2390 per ton. Precinct 3, 2390 per ton. Precinct 4, 2475 per ton. If you go to load at their plant, it's $30 a ton. Bid number 1801A, MCM Materials, stockpile price. Precinct 1 and 2, 2825 per ton. Precinct 3, 2625 per ton. Precinct 4, 2765 per ton. Job site location price. Precinct 1 and 2, 2825 per ton. Precinct 3, 2625 per ton. Precinct 4, 2765 per ton. Load at their plant is $7.85 per ton. Bid number 1805, Colorado Materials, stockpile location, $25 a ton straight across for all 4 precincts. Job site location, $27 a ton, delivered to all 4 precincts, $7 a ton to pick up at plant. Bid number 1806, 181 Materials, stockpile price. Precinct 1, $25.50 per ton. Precinct 2, $22.38 per ton. Precinct 3, $22.38 per ton. Precinct 4, $25 per ton. Job site locations, Precinct 1, $29.25 a ton. Precinct 2, $26.13 per ton. Precinct 3, $26.13 per ton. Precinct 4, $28.75 per ton. No bid on plant pickup. Bid number 1808, REJ, stockpile price. Precinct 1, $23.75 per ton. Precinct 2, $22.75 per ton. Precinct 3, $22.75 per ton. Precinct 4, $23.75 per ton. No job site location bids, no plant pickup bid. Bid number 1810, CEMEX, stockpile location. Precinct 1, $24.38 per ton. Precinct 2, $22.69 per ton. Precinct 3, $23.31 per ton. Precinct 4, $24.38 per ton. Job site location. Precinct 1, $26.25 per ton. Precinct 2, $23.88 per ton. Precinct 3, $25 per ton. Precinct 4, $26.25 per ton. Plant pickup price is $6.75 per ton. Bid number 1817, Brontex, no bid on a stockpile location, no bid on job site location. Pickup at plant, $6.25 per ton. Bid number 1821, Mark Trucking, stockpile location, Precinct 1, $29.10 per ton. Precinct 2 and Precinct 3, $24.80 per ton. Precinct 4, $31.60 per ton. Job site location, $29.10 a ton for Precinct 1, $24.80 for Precinct 1 and 2, Precinct 2 and 3, and Precinct 4, $31.60 per ton. No bid for plant pickup. Bid number 1823, Werner Materials, stockpile location, Precinct 1, $41 per ton. Precinct 2, $35 per ton. Precinct 3, $35 per ton. Precinct 4, $45 per ton. Job site locations, Precinct 1, $52 per ton. Precinct 2, $45 per ton. Precinct 3, $37 per ton. Precinct 4, $45 per ton. Pickup from Shiner Yard, $30 per ton.
All right.
I need a drink of water.
All right, do I hear a motion on price of limestone, 1 and 1/2 inches to road base per ton?
This is just as, I'll bring it out, y'all can modify this any way you want. but I'd like to accept bid 1798B, bid number 1805, bid number 1808, and bid number 1810. And do y'all want to add anything to that?
Going once, going twice?
Yeah. Okay. So you got 1790, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll repeat this. Motion made by precinct 3 to accept 1798B, 1805, 1808, and 1810. Do I hear a second?
Second that motion.
Okay. Is there anything else need to be added to that bid? Rewards. I don't hear anything else, so no other, going once, going twice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, do we need a,
Okay, we have, next item up for bids is, limestone 3/4 to dust per ton. Our first bid is 1798B, quality hot mix. Precinct 1 to the stockpile is 2275 a ton. Precinct 2 and 3 are 2190 per ton. Precinct 4 is 2275 per ton. Job site location is precinct 1, 2475 per ton. Precinct 2 and 3, 2390 per ton. And precinct 4, 2475 per ton, with a plant pickup price of $30 per ton. Next bid number is 1801A. MCM Materials stockpile location is $29 per ton for precinct 1 and 2, $27 per ton for precinct 3. Precinct 4 is $28.40 per ton. Job site locations, precinct 1 and 2 is $29 per ton, precinct 3 is $27 per ton, precinct 4 is $28.40 per ton, and plant pickup is $8.60 per ton. Bid number 1805, Colorado Materials, stockpile location, $25 per ton for precinct 1 and 2, precinct 3 is $24 per ton, precinct 4 is $25 per ton. Job site locations is $27 per ton for all 4 precincts, with a plant pickup price of $7 per ton. Bid number 1806, 181 Materials, stockpile location. Precinct 1, $26.10 per ton. Precinct 2 and 3 is $23 per ton. Precinct 4 is $25.85 per ton. Job site locations, precinct 1, $29.85 a ton. Precinct 2 and 3, $26.75 a ton. Precinct 4, $29.60 a ton. No bid on plant pickup. Bid number 1808 REJ, stockpile location price, precinct 1, $23.75 per ton. Precinct 2 and 3 is $22.75 per ton, and precinct 4 is $23.75 per ton. There is no bid on job site locations or plant pickup. Bid number 1810 CMEX, stockpile location, precinct 1, $24.63, precinct 2, $22.94, precinct 3, $23.56, precinct 4, $24.63. Job site locations, precinct 1, $26.50, precinct 2, $24.13, precinct 3, $25.25, precinct 4, $26.50. A plant pickup is $7 a ton. Bid number 1817 Brontex, no bid on stockpile or job site locations, $6.25 plant pickup. Bid number 1821 Mark Trucking, stockpile locations $29.25 per ton. Yeah, that's precinct 1. Precinct 2 and 3 is $24.95 per ton. Precinct 4 is $31.75 per ton. Job site location, precinct 1, $29.25 per ton. Precinct 2 and 3, $24.95 per ton. Precinct 4, $31.75 per ton. No bid on plant pickup. Bid number 1823, Werner Materials, stockpile location, precinct 1, $41 a ton. Precinct 2 and 3, $35 a ton, sorry. Precinct 4, $45 a ton. Job site location, precinct 1, $52 a ton. Precinct 2, $45 a ton. Precinct 3, $37 a ton. Precinct 4, $45 a ton, with a plant pickup price of $30 a ton.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I'm gonna run this by y'all gentlemen. I'd like to accept bid number 1798B, bid number 1805, bid number 1808, and bid number 1810. And do y'all have anything y'all wanna add to that?
I'll second that motion. What was the last one?
1810, same as the
1810.
1.5 inch above.
1810?
Yes.
Could we also accept the plant price for 1817?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep.
And
So 1817 plant price only.
1870
All right,
plant
do you
price.
adjust your motion?
Yes, I'd like to adjust my motion to accept bid number 1798B, bid number 1805, bid number 1808, bid number 1810, and bid number 1817.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second that motion.
Second by precinct 4. Any other questions or comments? So I have a motion on price of limestone 3/4 inches to dust per ton to accept bids number 1798B, 1805, 1808, 1810, and 1817. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. This next one should go simpler. Price of limestone 1 inch and down per ton.
That's right. Bid number 1798 quality hot mix, no bid. Bid number 1801A MCM, no bid. Bid number 1805 Colorado Materials, no bid. Bid number 1806 181 Materials, no bid. Bid number 1808 REJ, no bid. Bid number 1810 CEMEX, stockpile location, precinct 1, 3663, precinct 2, 3494, precinct 3, 3556, precinct 4, 3663, job site location, delivery price per ton, precinct 1, 3850 per ton, precinct 2, 3613 per ton, precinct 3, 3725 per ton, precinct 4, 3850 per ton, and a plant pickup price of $19 a ton. Bid number 1817 Brontex, no bid. Bid number 1821 Mark Trucking, no bid. Bid number 1823 Werner Materials, no bid.
Do I hear a motion?
I would like to make a comment. Do you think we really need 1 inch material if we're getting 1.5 inches from 3 different places?
3/4 to dust? No.
No.
I don't think we need the 1 inch material.
Do what?
I don't think we need the 1
No,
inch
I
material.
don't
agree
think
with
so
you.
neither. I mean, it was nice for them to put that in there on the
You
bid.
well, you
You're cool
asked
with
for
it?
the bid. They gave you a bid.
You wanna accept it? Just in case?
We got one.
If you
One
order
bid.
this, that.
Yeah, okay. I'll make a motion to accept the only bid number 1810 CEMEX.
All right, do I hear a second? Do I hear a second?
Go second that, yes.
Huh?
He seconded it.
He did second it?
Yeah, he's putting me to sleep.
No second, or did second?
He seconded it. He's falling asleep.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to accept, price of limestone 1 inch and down per ton to award one bid to the only bidder, bid number 1810 CEMEX. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. What?
Eighteen, 17,
Yes.
Ye- yes.
I agree with that. We need to
Yes.
amend that.
On the 1.5 inch?
yes,
Yeah.
the inch and a half pickup
So
price.
you wanna amend your bid on price of limestone 1.5 inch road base per ton?
Sorry, Barbara.
We're gonna add in Brontex
Yeah, plant
for
pickup.
plant pickup only
We're
on
doing this plant
Brontex.
pickup. Yes, I'd like to amend the bid on the inch and a half road base, limestone road base per ton to accept, also accept bid number 1817 from Brontex. The plant pickup price is $6.25 per ton.
Okay, there was a motion made by precinct 3. Here a second?
Second.
Second by precinct 4 to amend our vote to also include Brontex bid number 1817 on the price of limestone 1.5 inches and road base per ton. Any questions or comments?
Could we also amend that to say that we will exclude the plant pickup bid for 1798B at $30 a ton?
I think that's a no-brainer, but we can do that.
It's a no-brainer, but anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to point that out, so.
I'm gonna pick it up from there.
We would have to do that on both those bids,
Yeah, I mean,
or not.
Well, we can take them, but we just don't have to use them.
Right.
yeah,
That's
And
fine.
that way we won't have to amend it.
I think we just, if we award a bid, then that's up to y'all. I mean, but like I said, that's a no-brainer there. That's high dollar. Okay, so I have a motion by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to amend the bid is to include Brontex. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, almost done, Jimmy Apple.
Okay, we have vegetation management. We have one bid. It's chemical mowing and turf mowing. Bid number 1820, Roadside Consulting. All right, here's the application base. Estimated 200 centerline miles treatment per application. Contractor supplies the herbicides, $100 per mile. Estimated 400 centerline miles treatment per application. Contractor supplies the herbicide, $100 per mile. Alternate treatment per acre, contractor supplies the herbicides, $100 per mile. Edge of pavement treatment per centerline mile, contractor supplies the herbicide, $100 per mile. Bridge treatment, contractor supplies the herbicides, $300. Brush spraying, estimated 200 centerline miles treatment per application, contractor supplies the herbicide, $150 per mile. Estimated 200 centerline miles treatment per application, county supplies the herbicides, $150 per mile. Alternate treatment per acre, contractor supplies the herbicide, $150 per mile. Okay, exceptions to the specifications also includes $5,000 per tank spraying. And I'll make that a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to accept the chemical mowing, vegetation management, chemical mowing, and turf mowing, awarding bids number 1820 to Roadside Consulting, correct?
Yes.
All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, that motion passes. Moving along. Still got some gravel.
Now we're going to purchase and delivery of pit run and screen gravel. All right, bid number 1797, Pahota Gravel. Pit run gravel price per ton delivered to Precinct 1, $16.75 a ton. Precinct 2, $17.75 a ton. Precinct 3, $16.75 a ton. Precinct 4, $16.75 a ton. Pickup at plant is $7.75 a ton. Screen gravel, inch and a half down, per ton. Precinct 1, 1875 per ton. Precinct 2, 1975 per ton. Precinct 3 and 4 is 1875 per ton. Pickup at plant is $8.25 per ton. Pit run delivered to any county road. Precinct 1, pit run, $17.25 a ton. Precinct 2, $18.75 a ton. Precinct 3, $17.25 a ton. And precinct 4, $17.25 a ton. Screen gravel delivered to any county road. Precinct 1, $18.75 a ton. Precinct 2, 3, and 4 are $19.25 per ton. Bid number 1807, 181 materials. Pit run gravel, price per ton, delivered to precinct 1, 26.25 per ton. Precinct 2, 23.75 per ton. Precinct 3, 23.35 per ton. Precinct 4, 27.30 per ton. Plant pickup price is $9.68 per ton. Screen gravel, 1.5 inch down, price per ton, delivered to precinct 1, $27.50 per ton. Precinct 2, $25 per ton. Precinct 3, $24.60 per ton. Precinct 4, $28.60 per ton. Plant pickup is $10.92. Okay, delivered to any county road. Pit run, $31 per ton for precinct 1. Precinct 2 is $28.50. Precinct 3 is $28.10. Precinct 4 is $32.05 per ton. Screen gravel, precinct 1 is $31.90 per ton. Precinct 2 is $29.38 per ton. Precinct 3 is $35.95 per ton. And precinct 4 is $32.95 per ton. Bid number 1812, Fred Store. Pit run gravel, delivered stockpile is precinct 1, $20.54 per ton. Precinct 2, $22.58 per ton. Precinct 3, $18.50 per ton. Precinct 4, $17.14 per ton. And pickup at plant is $10 per ton. Screen gravel, 1.5 inch and down. Precinct 1, $23.04. Precinct 2, $25.08. Precinct 3, $21 a ton. Precinct 4, $19.64 a ton, and a plant pickup, $12.50 per ton. Pit run, gravel delivered to any county road. Precinct 1, $22.92 a ton. Precinct 2, $24.96 per ton. Precinct 3, $20.88 per ton. Precinct 4, $20.52 per ton. Screen gravel delivered to any county road. Precinct 1, $25.42 per ton. Precinct 2, $27.46 per ton. Precinct 3, $23.38 per ton. Precinct 4, $22 a ton. Bid number 1824, Werner Materials. Pit run, no bid. Screen gravel, 1.5 inch and down, price per ton. Precinct 1, $36 per ton. Precinct 2 and 3, $30 per ton. Precinct 4, $40 per ton. Pickup at plant, $25 per ton. And I want to omit the delivery because he did not add the delivery in the price of material into that. Does that make sense to you?
Sounds good.
Okay. Does that make sense?
So his,
He should have took his
should have added those.
delivery and added that freight together.
So if you do it, well, you can add them for him. I mean, it just, but you're talking $50 a ton, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, omit that, you can, I mean, you guys have the power to omit a bid
Yeah,
that's not in line.
right now, I'll go ahead and omit that.
Okay. that's gonna be taken care of when we actually vote on it anyway. This is, we're just reading this, putting this on the record, so we've got I know we've got vendors looking, watching this today, seeing how they're comparing, so we're trying to read these out loud for them. I will say this, if anyone wants a copy of this document, this is the compiled document that Naleen did. We do have a disclaimer on it as well, but you can request that from Naleen, and she can email you a copy of it. All right, do I hear a motion?
Okay, fellas, I'm gonna throw this out at y'all. I would like to go ahead and accept bid number 1797. Bid number 1807, the plant pickup only. Bid number 1812, as is.
Okay, a motion from precinct 3,
Second that motion.
second by precinct 4 to accept bids number 1797, 1807, plant pickup price only.
Right.
And bid number 1812. Do you hear any other questions or comments? Clerk, does that make sense to y'all? Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right.
I would like to pass this over now to
You wanna pass it?
precinct 1.
Precinct 1, do you want to lead us through the gasoline purchase of gasoline and diesel fuel?
Purchase of gasoline and diesel fuel. The best way to state this is, we had two bids, one from Patriot Fuel, bid number 1814, and Arnold Oil Company, bid number 1819. After looking at it, all entities of Lavaca County ultra diesel fuel from bid 1814, which is Patriot Fuel, is $2.2330 for ultra diesel. For dyed diesel, $2.2365, and for regular unleaded, 1.7. The markup at the pump is 0.19. That is for Patriot Fuel. And that is the same price for all entities in Lavaca County. From Arnold Oil, for ultra-low diesel, 2.478 for ultra-low diesel. For dyed diesel, 2.4815. And for regular unleaded, 1.9757, with a markup at the pump at 0.2400, and that's for all entities. Pardon? 2407, yes, ma'am, yes. And that's for all entities. That's about a 23 to 24 cent difference. Yes, ma'am?
Precinct 4, the sheriff's department has a markup.
Yes.
On which one? I didn't,
Yeah,
Low, dyed, and regular.
the 2565?
Yeah. Do you,
I can't even see this up.
can I simplify this?
Sure.
Do you have a motion?
I have a motion to accept Patriot Fuel for all entities, bid number 1814.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you hear a second?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 3 to accept Patriot Fuel bid number 1814 for the purchase of gasoline and diesel fuel. I'm gonna add here too, because it was a confusion last year, but this is for bulk fuel. Some departments, I know the sheriff's department moved into their purchasing some fuel at the pumps, because of where they're located and how they operate. This for bulk fuel delivery. So motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 3. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. What do we have left? Anything else?
Yes, I have one question. Did Warner Material turn in scope of work like H&C? I thought they did. Yeah, please check.
Double check.
We may have to table this. Or we can accept this and run that through court next time. I think we had another.
I don't think we did.
It was on road building.
All right, we're gonna, before we, you wanna do this, you wanna move into consent and come back to this?
Yeah, let's move it to consent.
Okay. Nalene's gonna research some information on the labor and equipment for road construction, so we're gonna do that here in just a minute. But let's table that until we can move into consent. By one motion, second, and vote. Well, hold on, she's back. All right, we're still doing it, okay. By one motion, second, and vote, we can approve the consent agenda and start that process. Do I hear a motion?
I'm so moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve consent agenda as read or provided. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion is approved. Our microphones will go off. We're in consent, and we'll come back and discuss our last bid option on labor and equipment. Our microphones will go off at this time.
It was like $6 a square. $6 a square. I remember, because that's one of the last bids we opened.
Turn it off.
I didn't see it. You might have. Thing is, nobody usually bids on it lately. Nobody has been bidding on soil stabilizing. We used to have 2 bids several years ago. And again, too, I think what it was, since we went up to that $100,000, we'll worry about that. But yeah, but I think that's what the deal was on that.
Ninth.
Oops. I need a massage. My neck is killing. Just handle it. Just handle it.
No. No. We got 100,000.
Yeah. And again, too, see if nobody bid on it, we can do what we need to do down the road. No, we don't have to, yeah. Because we did go out, we didn't receive any, so we have that option. Don't get into details, just handle it. We'll ask for forgiveness later.
turn your microphones back on.
Okay. Good?
They're on, but I don't. Testing 1, 2. Okay, they're back.
Yeah.
All right, little mic check. All right, we are out of consent. We're gonna go back into our bid process on item number 11 and pick up the last line.
All right, it's,
Labor and equipment for road construction services.
Right.
We had some confusion on that. I think, Kenny,
we
you
got
got
it
your
settled out.
clarification?
Yes.
All right, you wanna walk us
Uh,
through it?
We have, two bids. Bid number 1822 is, H&C Construction. Option number 1 per square yard is $3.90 a square yard. Option number 2 is, $4.75 per square yard. Option number 3 is a no bid. Bid number 1825 Werner Materials. Option 1 per square yard is $4.50. Option 2 per square yard is $6. And option 3 per square yard is $1.50.
Okay.
And,
Wanna make a
basically,
motion?
these bids are for the scope of work. We supply the material, they build the roads and asphalt,
Okay.
or chip seal them. I'm gonna leave it up there to y'all fellas, but I'm gonna go ahead and, make a motion to accept 1822 and 1825,
Okay,
since that's the only two bids we have.
okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right, on labor and equipment for road construction, we had a motion from precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to accept both bids that were, award both bids to bid number 1822 and 1825.
Yes.
Of course, the low bid would be the preferred bid, high bid
Right,
would be,
right.
your backup bid if you get in a bind.
That's all it is.
Any questions or comments with that? Going once, going twice? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. That concludes our action agenda items for today's date of December the 9th, 2025, which we will now move into item number 13 is to announce the next meeting. The next meeting will be December 22, 2025. That's a Monday at 9 a.m. December 22nd will be our last meeting for the calendar year, the last meeting before Christmas. And with that, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas season leading up to that 22nd date and beyond. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 3 to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned till